Hi, ladies and gents. You're welcome to another episode of Selfscape Podcast. I'm so excited to be here and to be recording. If you're new to the podcast, this is a place where my thoughts run free. So everything I say here is coming from me, 1000%. And like these are my opinions and what I think about life in general. So you're welcome to chill here and have a wonderful time. I hope that you've been great. All my listeners, I hope that you've been wonderfully well. I have missed you guys so much, but don't worry, baby girl is back. And I'm not here alone. Drumroll! I know you did not see this coming, but I actually have a guest today. So I'm going to let my guest introduce herself and we'll just get right into it.
Hello everybody, my name is Bukola, and first let me say that I am a listener. So it's like you're hanging out with your fave. That's exactly what I am doing. Hi, my name is Bukola. I am a content writer and a bookish content creator. And I am Adasa's friend. She loves me very, very much. Okay?
Alright, you guys heard. I brought my bookish friend here because today we're talking about books. You guys know on this podcast, I think I have an episode dedicated to just books I read, and I blasted one particular book. So we're here today to do justice to a lot of the books that we have read this year. Fun fact, Bukola and I are actually in the same book club. We're in a lot of clubs together. We're in a lot of places together. So we're in the same book club. 2 book clubs actually. So today we're talking about books, and let's just get right into it. If you love books, you're absolutely welcome. This episode is dedicated to you. You are going to have a wonderful time. First question: when did you start reading books and why?
Okay, I started reading, I cannot remember what age, but I was in primary school. I think I was in primary 4 or 5. I started reading because of my sister. I used to see my sister carrying books, buying books. My sister was always reading. So we used to share a room, like all the children. And then, there was like a part of the room that was dedicated to Taiwo. Oh, those are Taiwo's books. Those books are for Taiwo. Don't touch it. Don't go to that corner of the room, right? So I think I just found it intriguing, interesting. So I started reading storybooks. I would save up my money. I was in primary school, remember? So all the money I was supposed to be using to buy Capri Sun, Norios, Bobo, I would be saving it to buy storybooks on my way to school. I had a customer, I had a plug, as in she knew me. So I would buy storybooks, I would read them. I loved them so much. And then I grew up. I got to secondary school. I started reading novels, Wattpad, all of them. I was there. I was at the front. So yeah, that's how I started reading. And you said, why do I like reading? Okay, so I like reading because for me it feels like an escape from reality. When I'm reading, I'm not thinking about my problems. I'm not thinking about all the things that Tinubu is doing to me personally and me as a part of the nation. So when I'm reading, I'm just, somewhere else. I have traveled through books. I have lived many lives through books. I have, gotten to know a lot of people. Book characters are real in my head. So yeah, books they give me like an escape from reality. They help me to, I don't want to say to be somebody else, but, just see life and I'm somewhere else, like a totally different world. So yeah, that's it.
That's a period. Alternate reality things. So I also started reading really, really young. We used to have a collection of novels. In fact, I don't have them anymore because when we moved houses, we kind of threw away a lot of things. So I think some of those books were in the boxes that we threw away. We used to read like crazy. I used to read primary school, secondary school. Because of reading, I had like a very, very good vocabulary early on. So when I was in secondary school, I was very good in phonetics and diction because I was always reading books. I was reading storybooks, obviously, up until now when I started to read like major books and from big authors. Man, if you don't read books, you're actually missing out on a lot because it just carries you into a different world, like just a different perspective. Your eyes are sort of open to people and just how life can be in general, because you're reading something from someone else's experience or someone else's perspective, or you're also seeing how people's minds work, and you're like, how did you sit down to think of this? Where was I when they were sharing talent? That kind of thing. So reading is actually so good. What genre is your favorite?
I don't think I have one favorite. Okay, so this is it. I think I know what I don't like. I don't like self-help books. I don't like non-fiction. Like, I can't bring myself to read it. I'm sorry, I can't. You're advising me? Who are you? Oh, so I know what I don't like. I don't like self-help books. I don't like non-fiction. I feel like they're just too serious. Calm down. There's already a lot going on in life. You don't tight the wall to your chest. Calm down. So but I really like romance. Like I said, means of escape. The Lulu is the Solulu. So I mean I love romance books. And funny how like growing up, like when I was in uni, I hated romance. I wasn't reading it. I don't know. I just was not interested. Like, Kenny, it's a lie. So I wasn't reading it. But now I really like romance. I love thrillers. See, make my blood boil. Let me be reading like this. My heart is beating. I like thrillers. I like fantasy. I mean, means of escape. So I like fantasy. I love Harry Potter, by the way. That's just by the way. But yeah, I love fantasy, thrillers, romance, everything fiction, really. I'm game. I can read it, right? But non-fiction, I'm sorry. I'm not interested.
Okay, so for me, the Lulu is the Sololo. Every day, every time. Self-help books, no. I just cannot. I've tried. I have them at home. Actually have, I think, about 3 self-help books. And I have not been able to go past page 1. Once I just start, I'm like, oh, please. I don't want it right now. I just cannot bring myself to read them. So I'm always with fiction. I love biographies. I'm a big sucker for biographies. Like, I want to know your life story. I want to know this person's story. How did they start? What they were doing? Like, I love biographies so much. And that's why I watch a lot of live documentaries, because that's just my thing. And then I love to read murder mysteries. I don't know if it's just a weird thing, but I'm a true crime fan. So I love to watch true crime, homicide. So when I read murder mysteries, I'm playing detective. I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's just an escape. Like, if I want to relax, I can watch true crime. And that's how I wind down. It's just intriguing. Like, the way people's minds work is really intriguing to me. So murder mysteries, thrillers, fantasy books. I recently started liking fantasy. I did not like it, but lately I've been opening up myself to them. I have a limit though. Well, I've been opening up myself to them. Then romance. Let me have that daily moment, please. So I love reading romance books, because I just think that books are, it's just an alternate world. So the things that cannot happen in real life are happening in books, and you're just there to watch everything happen. Like, if you're reading a book, you're in Lagos reading a book. If your book is based on maybe a London street or something, you're going to be in London while you're in Lagos. And that's just how it works. So reading books, absolutely interesting. Now, are you a soft copy or hard copy girl? Me, I struggle to read soft copies. I can get distracted really fast. If it's hard copy, once I open that book like this, I'm there. But if it's soft copy, I'm at the back of my mind. I know that I'm reading from my phone, I'm reading from my laptop. Maybe there's a message somebody has sent to me that I want to check, that kind of thing. So soft copy is not really my thing, but hard copy, I'm there. What about you? Are you soft or hard?
Always a hard copy, babe. I don't know. I feel like the experience is just different. You are holding the book. You're seeing. I mean, when you're reading on your phone, you're seeing the text too. But like when I'm reading on my phone, somebody's message can pop up. I will close it. I will open it, and then I'll even forget that I'm reading. I don't know. The experience is just a lot better with hard copy. Fancy bookmarks. I mean, the book is pretty. I want to put it down, like, and it even just helps me to read more, because I don't want to drop the book. I want to keep reading it, right? I'm always be a hard copy, babe. But if it's in the price of books, let's not go there. But yeah, hard copy for life.
Let me tell you guys something that happened. So there is a particular book, The Bishop's Prodigal Daughter, or The Bishop's Daughter, or something like that, that Bukola and I had seen that book about maybe 2 months prior. And I told Bukola, oh my god, I want to buy this book. Like, I'm ready to buy this book. By the time we were ready to buy the book, and she told me the price, I just told her, don't worry.
That we saw it when I bought it is different. A mutual friend, our friend Chidima, wanted to buy the book last week, and now it's almost 10k. And she was like, why did she not buy it that time? I'm serious. And when I bought the book, that was not the initial price.
Buying hard copy books now, I have to think twice, because it's a major investment. It has to be a book that I really, really like. Because if I buy a book, for example, a book I will still reference in this podcast, that I bought with my hard-earned money and I cannot read it. Okay, let's just go to the next one. Which book have you read? Or what's the most annoying book that you have read? And while I'm holding the mic, I will proceed. I bought the book with my hard-earned money. I was like, oh my god, the cover looks so inviting. This book, this title is busting my head. By the time I'm done reading this book, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, I opened the book and I couldn't get through the first half of the book. I'm still there. My book pack is there. First half of the book. I haven't finished it. I just could not proceed. Funny thing, what now happened was I got to the half mark and then I think I left the book and my brother took it and read it from top to bottom, and then my brother reviewed it. And after my brother reviewed the book, I was like, yeah, I was right. This is a waste of money. I'm talking about Son of the House. Why? What was the point of I need to understand, why was the book written? What was the point? What was the author trying to say? I'm still annoyed.
So I wish you guys saw her Hadassah's face as she was describing this book. But I think the most annoying, I don't know if annoying is the word, but I think annoying is the word, would be the thing around your neck. And every time I tell somebody this thing, I'm always very shy because the author is my faith. I mean, CNE, shout out to you, mommy. Chimamanda, the queen of African literature. A queen, by all means, please. But this book, when I read it, I sat down, I asked myself, I said, my queen, why did you do this? What happened? Were you sad? And I spoke with one of my friends and I posted it on WhatsApp. And she replied me and said, oh, more, it's like Chimamanda was fighting with her husband when she wrote that book. She was not fine. I said, I agree. Because what was the point of that book? I didn't get it. I can't remember. It was the book is a short story collection. And funny how I can't remember anything. I can't remember any of the stories, but I know that I struggled to finish that book. And I wanted to finish it. I said, I will finish this book. This book will not finish me. But I did not enjoy it at all. It was very, very underwhelming, and I did not expect it. I didn't expect it from my queen. She fought my hand. But it's okay. It's okay. So, what book would you, if you had a chance to read one book over and over and over and over again and not get tired, what book would it be? So dramatic.
Are you ready? Gaslights. Every single person I have recommended this book to has come back with testimonies. That's how good this book is. I recommended this book to somebody on Twitter. No, I gave a random, just general recommendation. She sent me a DM, I think 2 days ago, and she was like, Hadassah, thank you so much. That this book took her on a journey. That's exactly what Gaslight does. You people need to read it. I can read it over and over and over again. Gaslight is just a top tier book. Not only is it a murder mystery, it's also a thriller. There's so many elements to that book that you will not see coming. If any book can be perfect, then Gaslight should be perfect, right? It was just a top tier book. So I would like to read it again. And then, funny enough, I think another book I would like to read is Shigidi. I rated it 3 stars actually, and very valid. But I would like to read Shigidi again just because I want to experience it again. It was a good book. It wasn't a bad book, but it's not my favorite book, right? But it was a really good book. So definitely Shigidi.
So for me, I agree with everything that you said about Gaslight. Gaslight was 100 over 100. See, you know how they used to say you can't get 100 over 100 in exam. 100 is for God. Gaslight was 100. Like when I review books myself and the books are good, I'm always like, I cannot give you 5 over 5. Oh, sorry. Maybe it's Nigerian. I'll give you 4.5. Okay, 4.9. But you can't get 5. But Gaslight, 5 blazing stars. That book is good. And I don't know why the author is not celebrated enough. Because funny how before we read that book, I didn't know him. I didn't know that book existed. I didn't know his name. And as I was reading, I said, why are people not talking about this book? But I guess because he doesn't live in Nigeria. So even the publishers, I don't think the book was published by Nigerian publishers. So I guess that's why. But that book is very good. So I would say Gaslight for me. And another book would be my favorite book in the whole world. This book was a book that I picked up when I decided to stop reading storybooks and mature, be a big girl, and read novels that are not Wattpad and all of that. Is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Francine Rivers is my favorite author of all time. And Redeeming Love was Redeeming Love was like my introduction to adult books, novels, and it is a very, very, very good book. So I would say Redeeming Love. I used to read it every year until, you guys, let me give you a small gist, very unrelated to what we are talking about, until I fell in love and gave the book to the man I thought I was going to marry. Now, we did not marry. I don't have a book. I'm not calling my book back. So I've not read Redeeming Love this year, but I used to have a ritual of reading Redeeming Love every year. So yeah, I think it would be Redeeming Love for me and Gaslights.
God forbid. The book that I bought with my hard-earned money, I should give it to who? The son of a man. Have you not heard how deceiving men can be? Okay, so do you think reading has a positive effect on people? I have my opinions, but do you think it does have a positive effect on people?
100%. I believe that people who read are smart. I genuinely think that people, not like people that read once in a year, avid reader, like you would always find them reading. They have a book that they are reading. They are genuinely smart people. They have sense. You just know. And of course, improves your vocabulary. I have a note on my phone where I write new words from. I see something in a book, I'm like, oh, I've not heard this word before. I look it up, what does it mean? And then the next time I'm talking to my friend, that word has to come out. They will even know that I just learned it. Yes, I just learned it from my book. So yes, I believe that it has a positive effect. That's like the English positive effect. I say infect, Jesus. Effect. Please guys, I'm a babe. I'm so sorry. So another one would, I think that reading, it opens your mind. I don't know, you're reading somebody else's point of view, and then the mix of characters from different books. I feel like it helps you to, in a way, understand people. I've seen real life situations that I have sort of experienced from a book. I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh, I think I read something like this in a book. Oh, this thing, something similar to this happened in a book that I just read. So it just opens your mind. It makes you, should I say, emotionally intelligent? But it just gives you this edge. I think I get what you're saying. I get how you feel because maybe a character you've experienced has felt something similar or something. So yeah, I 100% believe that it has a positive effect on people.
I agree. I think it does. I think that people that read books are a bit intelligent. Then there's no how. Like if you read a book, you definitely be more intelligent than you usually are, because you are experiencing people in different ways, or your mind is opening up to different possibilities that you did not know exist. Like I said, a book can take you places you've never been before. A book can help you be more imaginative, be more creative. If you're creative, you should actually read more books because there's just so much that you can pick up from. There's a lot of content in books that you can recreate, create. If you are drowning in content block or something, I think read a book. I think read a very interesting book because you see another creative doing something unimaginable with their mind. They are building people, creating characters, giving life to characters, and your mind is just exploding as you're reading those books. So I think reading is actually good. Again, vocabulary. If you do not understand words, or maybe you're not really great at English, read a book, read more books. Because I think that authors write well and they use really, really good vocabulary, and you can pick up words there, you can learn better English there, and you also learn new words. I just remember that when I was reading Shikiti, I learned a lot of new words there, especially that very stupid bad word that I learned on the first chapter. So reading actually expands your mind. It makes you more imaginative. I think it also makes you more empathetic because you are given to thinking before you speak. You're given to processing your thoughts, because as you're reading, you're having to process a lot of things happening in that book, a lot of events. Sometimes you close your book, take a pause, and try to process, right? But it just it helps you be a better person, or maybe helps you have a better personality. Your book should have a positive effect on you. Your personality should become better rather than regress. It should actually improve. So yes, I believe it does. And that will bring me to my next question. Aside from having a positive effect on your personality, do you think it has a positive effect on your finances? And I'm saying this because you are a bookstagrammer, right? So you have an Instagram page dedicated to reviewing books. Bukola reviews books, that's her thing. So as a creator, or as a creative, or as a content creator, do you think reading books and reviewing them is another means of bringing in revenue? Because I know if you review movies, that's a way. People that review movies, they actually get premiere tickets. They get access to movie parties or whatever it is, or something like that. For example, let me use myself as an example. Somebody like me now that has a Christian radio station, I'm getting access to listening parties, pre-album, something, launch, stuff like that. So do you think that it gives an edge for a content creator?
Yes, it does. But just like every other niche, it takes a lot of work. See, like I said this thing to my mom just yesterday, that I've been reading all my life, and then I started a bookstagram in 2023 because on my personal page I used to review just like job shots, how I felt, how this book made me feel, and people like, open another page, like properly write reviews and all of that. And I started doing that, and this is like over a year after, and people are reaching out to me that they want to give me books, and I'm like, in this economy, God bless you. So yes, I feel like yes, it generates revenue, of course. And then like now, I'm such a big girl, forget me, okay? I just signed a collaboration with a bookstore, and like I didn't deep it until yesterday when I was talking to my mommy. Mom, they're going to be giving me books. Do you know how much books are? And I might get over 3 free books because they asked me for the books I'd like to review. I calculated it. I said, I can't buy this book with my money. I can't use my money to buy it, but I want to read it. And then there are other perks to the collaboration, access to open mics and all of that. These are places that I have always wanted to go to. But when I see ticket price, I will just sit there in my room. If they are streaming it, I will stream. If they are not streaming, I pray for them. So I mean, yes, there is like the good part. I mean, you get access to a lot of things, but like I said earlier, it's a lot of work. Last year, I was posting pictures of books. I was buying books because, I want to show up on Instagram, right? I want to write a review for this book. And there were times that people would even ask me, have you read this book? And then I'll get like over 3, have you read this book? What do you think? I'll say, let me just go and buy the book. So last year, I was spending money on books, posting all of that, and nothing was exactly happening. But I mean, it didn't take away the fun for me. Not until this year. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. And I think it makes the fun even much more better because I'm genuinely doing something that I love and enjoy. And then there are like all the freebies. Count me in. So yeah, there's a lot of work, but like it pays off. It pays off because I've seen like other bookstagrammers. I know people creators on Instagram that I know that they can't remember the last time they bought a book, but they are reading. As in, they are reading like 15 books a month. Why? Publishers are sending them books. Bookstores are sending them books. Why? This person, he creates good content. He would write reviews that will make people buy the book more and all of that. So I think exposing myself to like these people and all of that, I'm like, man, I want to. Book is expensive. I want to. So this year I put in a lot more intention, much more work, and now it's paying off. I'm very happy. So
yeah. And also something that you said for a creator, or especially for user generated content, because that's what you're doing. So for UGC creators that have to create content for like about brands, skincare, you have to do the groundwork first. You can't just say, I'm a book reviewer, give me books. There's no track record now. So like there must be, yes, exactly, show workings. There must be something that tells people that, this is what you do and you're very good at it, so I think I can trust you. So for a creator or even anything you are doing, you need to have track record. I think in my newsletter that I sent out yesterday.
I read it this morning.
My newsletter that I sent out yesterday, I did mention that you have to actually measure your work. When somebody's asking you, what do? You need to have something to present. It's like you can't give them just word of mouth or an empty, this is what I do. Okay, show workings now. Somebody needs to know that you do these things. Somebody needs to see it. And so for whatever it is that you do, whether you're a bookstagrammer, you're a content creator, you're in the marketing space, anything that you're doing, it's important that you have a track record because that's what backs you up. You may be very good at your job and somebody that is not as good as you has track record, they will pick that person over you at the end of the day. Because that person is constantly showing up, right? So you need to show up in some type of way, whether it is maybe you don't want to do video stuff, but you can write newsletters about your career, which is what I'm currently doing. Because let me tell you something, you guys, I don't want to be shooting videos anymore. So I'm trying to pour my knowledge into newsletters. Do something that helps people know that, okay, you are actually very good at your job, and then they'll take notice of you. I'm actually very happy for you, to be honest, because it also means I get to read free books. Do you think that as a Christian there are some books you should not read, and where do you draw the line? Because for me, as a Christian, you guys need to see Bukola. Because for me as a Christian, there are some books I cannot read, which is why when I was reading Shigidi, I just kept praying, God, as I'm reading this book, I cover my heart, I cover my mind. I skipped a lot of pages. I'm not even lying. I don't want to see this. Okay, let's move on. Especially that part. I'm not interested in this. This is not why I'm reading this book. So do you think there are some books you should not read because they have an effect on you?
Yes, I do feel like even the Bible says that we should guard our hearts. And I feel like even beyond books, it goes like to everything. as Christians, as believers, we should be very, very careful. So when I was reading Shigito, I was skipping that babe's part like a lot, because when I first found out what she was, do people like this actually exist? Because if they do, that's bad. What am I reading? When I was reading that book, you guys, my mom, I don't know if you know, Shigidi is like a figurine, something like that. Yes, you go to a house, you see those type of things. But like in deep Yoruba, it's like Shigidi of like Shango and stuff like that. Till I finished that book, they want Shigidi, which one is Shigidi? But yes, I feel like there should be limits. As Christians, boundaries are very, very important. And even the romance, like, you know how I said, for like a good period of time in my life, I wasn't reading romance books, and that time I wasn't even saved. But there are some books that are just, I feel like some things are just too unnecessary. There's no need for you to be describing the acts. Like, you already know that that's what they are doing. There's no need for this description. There's just no need. So I feel like, yes, there are some books that you should not read. You should not be reading erotic books. Why? There's no need. There's really, really no need. The human mind is very, very imaginative. We see things once, and for a very long time you are seeing that thing even when you are not actively thinking about what you saw. And that's like movies, things that you see in real life. When you're reading, you imagine the things that you're reading. So imagine things that you formed the imagination by yourself. I feel like you'll be deceiving yourself if you think that you read the book once and then you drop it, and then when I read Shigidi for a while, I was thinking about the book. Like, I say, I'll wake up and say, hey, imagine these things, they are real. I mean, we should really be careful with the things that we consume.
Yes, 1000%. I read Shigidi, and I think that the next day I had dreams about Shigidi. So.
But please, the book is good though. Please read it, but you can hold the anointing on as you are reading. When you read that, you anoint your eyes. Oh please, the book is a very good book. I feel like the author did a lot of research, and that was one thing that I really, really highlighted in my review of the book. And that's why I think that the man is genuinely smart. And I think he even said it on his social. He did one question things with Masobe books. Masobe published the book, and then he was saying that he had this book in the works for I think over 3 years. He had to read papers. If you read that book, you will know that a lot of work went into it. And then I was asking my mom the gods and stuff. She was like, oh, they are real. Yoruba history, like, he did a lot of research. So shout out to him. But like I said, one line, one anointing as we are reading.
I think I love authors that actually do their due diligence. You did research, you wrote the book, and you wrote it well, and it ended well. It shows in the books that you read that, oh, this author took their time to do their research. They took their time to write and to piece all these things together, or to create his characters. For example, what happened to Jane Etuzo? What happened to the author?
Ladies and gents, if you want to sin, if you want to be a criminal, your reason must be solid. You are killing 3 people. Your trace sits that you are leaving behind the death scenes, like, this person, maybe it's a madman. Your race name, you like her. That's why you're killing 3 people up and down. And they were teenagers, not teenagers, they were young adults. Are you joking? Youthful exuberance. That's why you are killing 3 people. No, come on. Shout out to the author, because I think it was her first attempt, and I think that's like not the first. Because when I read that book, I said, oh, that's like the first in Nigeria. But now that I've read Gaslight, that was not the first. But for her first attempt, she tried, because the book, until I got to the reason why he did it, I was like, no, she did well. But when I saw the reason, that reason just cancelled all the excitement from the beginning.
Thank God she put the reason at the end, because I would have closed the book. I would have said, okay, all right. I think everything leading up to that was great, but that reason just watered down everything. So next time she should do a better thing. So do you have a goal for the year? Let me tell you my own. I said I was going to read 12 books this year. I have successfully read 4.
You've read 4 books?
I've read 4 books. The other books, I read them halfway. Because they're annoying. When I start reading the book and it's annoying, I just leave it. If you check my Goodreads, all my books are half. So I successfully read 4 completely. That's Born on a Tuesday, Gaslight, Shigidi, and there's one more. I can't remember. So the other of my books are half. They are all half. I'm trying to finish like at least 3 of the half this month. Let me just get it over with. Yeah, where we end and begin. Yes, where we end and begin. Obina, and you guys should read it. It's actually a really interesting book. Yes, so those are my 4 books. So now if I add Bridge to Haven, I don't think I will read this book. Let me not lie. This book looks like a dictionary. Why is a book over 300 pages?
Let me tell you why the author had in mind. Because she knew what she was writing. And that's the thing with Francis Rivers. All my Francis Rivers girlies and boys here would agree that our books can be big. But I'm serious, when you actually get into it, overlook the bigness of the book. I'm serious. Look, see now, I'm almost done. I started reading this book like 2 days ago. And this is why it took me this long, is obviously because it's big. But like, I mean, it's a very, very good book.
Let me tell you something. If I'm going to read this book, it's probably be the last book I read this month because it's a lot. But yeah, my book goal is 12 books, and I feel like I would go over 12 books with the kind of books I'm reading. Right, I actually want to go over 12 books. If I can get to 20, that's like huge for me. So I'm not doing too much, but yeah. What is your book goal?
Okay, so last year I had a number of books I wanted to read. I deceived myself. I said I wanted to read 50 books, but last year I read 17 books. But let me tell you what I did. 50 from January. When we got to June, I said, "Oh, go ye! No matter what I do, I achieve it." And I changed it to 30. We got to September. I said, "Oh, this goal ain't gonna happen." I changed it to 15. Then I read 17. I'm a winner. So this year, I said, I'm not going to do that this year. I'm not going to put a number to the amount of books that I would read. I want to genuinely just read whatever I want to read, as fast, as slow, anyhow. So I had like another way to set bookish goals. So I set 1, 2, 3, 5 goals for myself. One is to read genres I've never read before, like memoirs, autobiographies, biographies. For that one, I have gotten a memoir. I've just not read it yet, so I would read it. Oyinbo Karim. Yeah. So when that book came out, I was like, just in time. So I will read it. The second one is to try out audiobooks. I have tried my best with this goal. I've not even attempted. I don't know where to listen. All the people that use like audiobooks, I can't do that. It's non-fiction. I can't do that. The book she suggested is non-fiction. I won't read it. I would rather read it with my eyes than with my ears. So, all the people that I've spoken to that read audiobooks, they are like paid platforms. Okay, now if I will even pay, let me pay in naira. We need $1. I'm not doing. So I don't know about that goal. Then the third one is to read at least 5 non-fiction books. I have tried my best. I have read, so far I think I read 3. And the 3 that I have read are Christian non-fiction. Yeah, I've read Dear 20 something. I read Leading 6U, Pray book. That's all. Fourth one, I did not finish it. I tried, but I did not finish the book. The Woman After God's Own Heart. But now, for the next non-fiction I want to read, I don't want to read Christian because that's what I've been reading. So I want to try something else. But I'll try my best with that goal. Then the fourth one is to read books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Last year, I read one book by her. That's The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I liked the book. So I was like, okay, this year I want to read other books. But I'm not, because that woman now, why is one of her books 23,000? That's some people's school fees. So I can't buy it. So I don't know about that one. Then the last one is to attend a physical bookish event. This year, I want to try to go for Ake Book Festival because I have been seeing it. Like, since I got immersed into like the book community, I've been seeing the events and all of that. If I can afford it, I would go because I know that aside paying for tickets, there'll be a lot of books there that you would want to buy. So you can't go there, bro. You should go with the mindset of, okay, at least I'll be able to pack like 4 books or 5 books. Although there'll be discounts, but we're in Nigeria, so even discounted price is still expensive. And the other bookish event I have in mind is my book club's physical meeting. That one is always at the end of the year. To be honest, I feel like because I knew I would achieve that goal, that's why I wrote it. But yeah, those are my bookish goals. But when the bookster girlies were doing one Goodreads challenge, I went to go and set a number goal for myself. So I said, okay, this year I'll try to read 30 books. And this year, so far, I have read 20. I would have said 21 by DNF'd one. So I've read 20. Okay, no, I've read 22. Actually, I've read 2 books this month. So yeah.
One of my goals, like aside from numbers, is also to actually attend a book festival, because that's where you find the best of books and you get to meet authors too. So why not? Bookish people like you, and you make new bookish friends. So obviously I'm interested in that. So I would definitely be attending that festival by the grace of God. But the thing is, will I have money to buy books? Exactly. That's the thing.
I feel like if I'll go.
I'll go. And I'll probably not be able to buy this because like this economy is not even favorable at all. But yeah, that's it for books. So to be very honest, I feel everybody should read books. Everybody should read books, and not just self-help books. The fun is in fiction. The fun is in Delulu. The fun is in going to another world and just exploring possibilities with your mind, right? So I think everybody should pick up a book, and not just any book. Pick up a really, really good book. That's all I have for you today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode, because let me tell you, this was an episode I wanted to do for a very long time. As you know, Selfscape is a collection of my thoughts, the things I like, and I really like books. So I'm glad I've been able to do that. I'm also thinking of expanding it to other topics and other interesting things. So you're definitely going to be seeing more people later, conversations about life in general and things that just interest 20-something-year-olds like myself. Thank you so much, Bukola, for coming. Do you have final words to say to my listeners?
Ladies and gents, buy a book for your friend. Okay? Invest in their lives. And really, read a book or 2 or 3 or 4.
Or as many books as you want to read. So thank you so much once again. I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, bye. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.